Where the Wild Things Are. Once upon a time, there was a little boy named Max. One evening, Max wore his wolf costume and made lots of mischief. He chased the dog and told his mother, "I'll eat you up." His mother called him a wild thing and sent him to bed without dinner. That night, a magical forest grew in Max's room. Trees sprouted up, vines hung down, and a private boat appeared just for him. Max climbed in and sailed away, across the night and day, to where the wild things are. The wild things had terrible roars, big claws, and scary eyes. But Max wasn't afraid. He stared into their yellow eyes without blinking once. The wild things said, "You the most wild thing of all," and made Max their king. Max and the wild things had a wild rumpus. They danced, swung from trees, and roared as loud as they could. But after a while, Max missed home. He missed someone who loved him best of all. So Max gave up being king. He got back into his boat and sailed away, back through the night and day. When Max returned to his room, he found his supper waiting for him, still hot, and Max knew he was truly loved. The Cat in the Hat, retold for young children. One cold, rainy day, Sally and her brother sat by the window. They had nothing to do. They stared at the rain and sighed. Suddenly, the door opened with a bang. In walked a tall cat wearing a big red and white striped hat. He smiled and said, "Why are you so sad?" "We can't go outside," said the children. "We have nothing to do." "Don't worry," said the Cat in the Hat. "I know how to have fun." He pulled out a big box and out jumped two funny creatures, Thing 1 and Thing 2. They danced and played. They flew kites inside the house. They ran around and knocked over chairs and lamps. The children laughed at first, but soon the house was a big mess. They worried. What would their mother say? Then the Cat in the Hat took out a special machine. It was a big cleaning up machine. It picked up everything and put it back just right. When their mother came home, the house was neat and tidy. She asked, "What did you do today?" Sally and her brother just smiled. It was their secret adventure with the Cat in the Hat. Once upon a time, on a small farm, there was a little pig named Wilbur. He was the runt of the litter, but a kind girl named Fern loved him very much. She fed him with a bottle and took care of him until he grew strong. When Wilbur became too big to stay in the house, Fern moved him to her uncle's barn. In the barn, Wilbur made many new friends, like the wise old sheep, the playful geese, and most importantly, a kind and clever spider named Charlotte. Wilbur was happy at first, but soon he learned some bad news. The farmer planned to sell him for meat. Poor Wilbur was very scared and sad. Charlotte, being a true friend, promised to help him. She came up with a special plan. Every night, Charlotte would spin beautiful words into her web, like "some pig," "terrific," and "radiant," to show everyone how special Wilbur was. The people on the farm were amazed. They thought Wilbur was a magical pig. Visitors came from all around to see him. Because of Charlotte's clever work, Wilbur was saved. He even won a special prize at the fair. But as summer ended, Charlotte grew weak. She had worked so hard and had lived her full life. Before she passed away, she left behind a sack of her eggs. Wilbur promised to take care of them, just like Charlotte had taken care of him. When the baby spiders hatched, Wilbur felt happy and full of love. He knew that, because of Charlotte, he would always have friends, and he would never be lonely again. Charlotte had taught Wilbur that true friendship is kind, brave, and full of love, and he would always remember her. The end. A bedtime story for children. In a quiet, cozy little room, a tiny bunny sat on his bed. He looked around and saw everything he loved. There was a soft red balloon, a little toy house, two little kittens, and a pair of mittens. There was a big picture of a cow jumping over the moon and a little toy mouse running around the room. The bunny's eyes grew heavy. It was time to say goodnight. "Good night, room," said the bunny. "Good night, moon." "Good night, cow jumping over the moon." "Good night, light and the red balloon." "Good night, kittens, and good night, mittens, good night, clocks, and good night, socks." "Good night, little house, and good night, mouse, good night, comb, and good night, brush." "Good night, nobody, good night, mush." "Good night, stars, good night, air, good night, noises everywhere." The bunny yawned and snuggled under his warm blanket. The room was quiet. The moon was shining softly through the window, and soon the little bunny was fast asleep. Green eggs and ham, Chingsang Vathigoy. One day, a happy little creature named Sam I Am came running along. He carried a plate with something very funny, green eggs and ham. Sam I Am smiled and said, "Would you like some green eggs and ham?" But the other creature shook his head. "I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I Am." Sam I Am laughed. "Would you like them in a house? Would you like them with a mouse?" The creature frowned. "I would not like them in a house. I would not like them with a mouse. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I Am." Sam I Am was not ready to give up. "Would you like them in a box? Would you like them with a fox?" "No, not in a box. No, not with a fox. Not in a house. Not with a mouse. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I Am." Sam I Am kept asking kindly, "Would you eat them in a car? Would you eat them in a tree? Would you eat them by the sea?" But still, the answer was, "No, no, no. I do not like them anywhere." Finally, Sam I Am said, "Just try them. Try them, and you may like them." The creature thought for a moment. "All right, Sam. If you let me be, I will try them. You will see." He took a bite. He chewed. He smiled wide. "Say, I like green eggs and ham. I do. I do, Sam I Am. I will eat them in a house. I will eat them with a mouse. I will eat them in a box. I will eat them with a fox. I will eat them in a car. I will eat them near and far. I will eat them in a tree. I will eat them by the sea. I love green eggs and ham. Thank you, Sam I Am." And from that day on, he was always happy to try new things.